think. Okay. All right, good afternoon, everybody on the video. It looks like we have several cases ready in the courtroom. Our prosecutor is getting on to get ready for the Zoom cases. Thank you for the update. Sounds like we're having some Zoom issues for our prosecutor, so thank you, everybody, for your patience. And do I have Tyler Foster, EM 4321? Mr. Foster, come just at station number 1, right? Or this one over here.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. We're still doing that, right?
I was looking at that stand the whole time.
No. Oh, we're not. You're good. Go ahead and come to the middle.
Yeah, wasn't sure. I was looking at that sitting there the whole time and it was like.
During COVID, we were utilizing as much space as we could to try to keep, but we're back to everybody standing in the middle, which is great. All right, Mr. Foster, did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
No.
And it looks like you'd like to get a continuance to talk to an attorney. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's just gonna be some health side of this too with it. And so before I accept this, I just need to confirm with my lawyer that it's not gonna mess up anything on that side of it. Because long story short, I just didn't think I was responsible for the accident, you know, so there's a side over there with the lawyer. So I need to confirm with him first before I accept the deal he offered me.
Not a problem. One sec.
He told me to ask about a Zoom follow-up too next time, maybe, or if it's easier, I live across the street, like the accident was 60th Magnolia over there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We are still doing our Zoom sessions and encouraging people to utilize that, especially on our traffic cases. So we can certainly have you talk to somebody about that. Have you already an attorney in mind, or are you starting fresh?
Reed's Whalen, so I'm in communication with him.
All right.
Now.
So I just want to, for the record, you are charged with failing to yield the right of way after stopping at a stop sign. That's a 3-point violation. This is from March 11th, 2022. All right, so if I give you about 3 weeks, does that give you enough time to consult your attorney? All right, Mr. Foster, I'm going to have you see my clerk at the window. You'll get that next court date in writing. Have a good rest of your day. And mention the Zoom, and they'll have you show you how to get signed up to register for that next time.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you. You as well. Thank you. Don't blow away.
Right?
Marvin Lopez Romero, 2020, excuse me, EM 15038. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
And Mr. Lopez Romero, do you have any questions about the rights advisement video that you reviewed?
Well, I don't know. This is the first time I've been in court, Your Honor.
Did you watch the video, or would you like me to explain your rights to you now?
I did see the video.
Okay. Did you have any questions?
You're welcome to explain it.
All right. You have the right to remain silent. Everything we are doing is being recorded. You have the right to understand the charges that have been filed against you, and you are presumed innocent of those charges. You have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, you can apply for the public defender. And if you qualify, an attorney would be appointed to represent you for free. You have the right to plead guilty or not guilty. Any plea that you enter must be voluntary and not the result of any undue influence or coercion. If you plead not guilty, you have the right to a speedy and a public trial. If you are convicted at trial, you have the right to appeal. The maximum penalty that could be imposed against you in your case is a fine of up to $2,650 and up to 364 days of jail. Your guilty plea could affect any probation, parole, or immigration issue that you may be facing. If that is the case, you may get a continuance to consult an attorney before deciding what to do. If you have ever served in the United States military, there may be certain services that you are entitled to, and the court can provide you information about that. Do you have any questions about these rights?
No.
You have a ticket for no proof of insurance. That is a 4-point violation from March 9th, 2022. Your options today are you can plead not guilty to that charge and set a trial. You can get a continuance if you would like to talk to an attorney. Or you can plead guilty and the court would impose a fine. Do you know how you would like to proceed?
Well, I'm guilty because I wasn't driving legally that day.
All right, and my understanding is that you do have insurance now, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means you are giving up all of the rights that I just explained to you?
Yes.
You are giving up your right to have an attorney, your right to have a trial, and your right to appeal.
Yeah.
Do you understand that pleading guilty could affect any probation, parole, or immigration issue that you may be facing?
Yes.
Have you ever served in the United States military?
No.
The charge of no proof of insurance says when requested to do so following a lawful traffic stop or during a traffic accident investigation, no person shall fail to provide to the officer immediate evidence of a complying policy or certificate of self-insurance in full force and effect as required by law. Do you understand the charge of driving without insurance?
Yes.
Do you agree that you drove without insurance on April 6th, 2022? Nope, sorry, that's today. On March 9th, 2022 at 4800 East 74th Avenue in Commerce City, Colorado.
Yes.
How do you plead to that charge? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea. I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you would like me to know before I impose the fine?
No.
All right, I do see that you have insurance now, which means that I'm going to cut your fine in half. Actually, what I'm going to do, the judge that used to be the judge here had a different way of doing fines. We have a new presiding judge here, and I don't yet know what his philosophy on fines is. So I'm going to stick with Judge Juarez's fine. Because you have insurance now and because you've not had any prior insurance charges, I'm going to impose a $120 fine. Most other cities and the state would be imposing a $500 fine for that charge today and would suspend half of that because you have insurance. So it would normally be $250. So you're getting a pretty big break on the fine in this courtroom. You need to have insurance. There's a $20 in court cost, a $9 fuel surcharge, and a 30% surcharge. You are going to get that total at the window. If you pay that all today, that would conclude your case. If you need a payment arrangement, my clerk will work with you on that. Do you have any questions?
I'm sorry, what was the total?
One moment. That doesn't, 185. It's 185.
Okay.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Dwayne Botcher, CM 303-562. Hi, Mr. Botcher. I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Let me pull up your case here real quick. So, Mr. Botcher, it looks like last time you were here, yourself and the prosecutor came to an agreement to continue your case for you to complete certain conditions in exchange for dismissal.
Yes.
It looks like you have completed those conditions. So the city is moving to dismiss your case. It looks like there is a property issue that we need to deal with. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, let me open the report. One moment. All right, so the prosecutor at the original agreement indicated that he would not have any objection to releasing the firearm back to you. Are you the owner of that firearm?
Yes, ma'am.
And
It's
you
a
can
prop
prove-
gun. It's a blank gun. The barrel was sealed solid,
Okay,
so it just shoots blanks.
all right.
It's part of a collection that I'm selling.
Thank you. I am not seeing a copy of the report. Do we have a release order for?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I don't do it right now. Okay. There's, so I usually like to reference the property number in my
Oh,
order.
you
but
know
I don't-
what? It's because it's a CM.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
But does that mean I can go pick it up and after court?
So long as the order is put in by the clerks, that should be, you can have a copy of the order as well. As long as they get it to me quickly. You'll probably need to have your photo ID to get your property.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right, so I am authorizing release of the Eagle Jackal dual 9mm prop gun. There were 8 blank rounds. Are you asking for those as well?
Just the way they took it.
Okay. Your case is now dismissed, sir. You do have the ability to file a petition to seal this case. There is a $65 sealing fee, but if the court does order that sealing, then you can legally say that the record does not exist. We are going to generate that order for the release of your property. How long will that take? Will that be today? Okay. So once I get that and I'll sign that, you'll be able to have a copy of that to take to the police department. Oh, I don't have to sign it. Okay. All right. So the clerks at the window will provide that to you. Thank you.
Well, there's that.
Yep. And then you can get the information on the sealing if you'd like that.
Okay, thank you.
Have a great day. Toby Crespin, EM 14040. Good morning or afternoon.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Mr. Crespin, did you have any questions about the rights advisement video?
No.
All right, one moment while I open up your ticket. It looks like this is a charge of unsafe backing. That's a 2-point violation from March 10th, 2022. The prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 0-point obstructed window charge. Would you like to accept that plea offer?
Yes.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty? Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
Well, I explained it to the city attorney, and I don't think it was any more my fault than it was his fault, it was just an accident.
Understood. Do you understand pleading guilty today, though, means that you would be giving up your right to contest that at a trial and appeal it?
Well, I don't really have the time to be traveling back and forth from here to the Western Slope. But they have to family, so the thing of it is, I've never been there before, and I haven't had any tickets in many years.
All right, so you do want to waive those rights then?
Well, I don't want to have to come back to court.
Okay, so in the law, we have to be really specific. So I hear you sort of telling me that you want to take care of the case today with the plea, but you're not telling me in those words.
Well, I'll tell you what, ma'am, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
My brother has his own law firm in Denver too, so I understand.
Okay.
Very, very well educated, okay?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that I just need to have your clear yes on the record that you want to waive those rights in order to enter this plea bargain.
Well, if you waive the rights, if I waive my rights, then I have to come back to court, right?
No. If you waive your rights, then I'll let you do the plea offer today and your case would be closed.
Okay, I'm going to just waive my rights and say that, I'm guilty, you know.
All right, I will find that you have knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily waived your rights today. How do you plead to the 0-point charge of obstructed window on March 10th, 2022 in the area of 6996 Highway 2 in Commerce City, Colorado?
I plead guilty to that.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you want me to know about your accident before I impose the fine?
The only thing is, ma'am, when I went into the store, that's the park. Nobody in the parking lot, okay? It's a very small parking area. A few feet from his store to the highway 2. So I came out of the store and I looked around. Parking lot, someone told me I go back door. So the vehicle came from in between the other 2 buildings, which the owner of the property said that's private property, and that's why I didn't see him.
Gotcha.
I got into my blind spot with my vehicle, and it just happened so fast. But I'm not saying it's his fault either, but I'm a good driver now.
Yeah, I don't see that you've had any prior tickets, so point wise, you're doing just fine. I'm going to impose the minimum fine, which is $40. There are $29 of court costs and a 30% surcharge, so that comes to a total of $81. Are you able to pay that today, Mr. Crespin?
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. I'll have you talk to my clerk at the window. You'll take your pay. She'll take your payment there, or he, and your case will be concluded. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Have a good day.
You too.
Miguel Ramirez, EM 10677. Mr. Ramirez, I think that you're one of my people on Zoom. Is that right?
Señor
Mr.
Miguel Ramírez, puedes quitarse en
I
mutuo,
need
por
you to
favor.
push *6 to unmute. Mr. Ramirez, can you hear me?
Señor Ramírez, ¿nos escucha? No le-
I see that you're saying yes, Mr. Ramirez, but we can't hear you. You need to unmute yourself.
Yo veo que estás diciendo que nos escucha, pero nosotros no lo escuchamos. Te tienes que quitar el mute, por favor.
And you'll do that by pushing *6 or touch your screen or your mouse. And that will bring up your options on the bottom left. You'll see the microphone.
Si mueves el cursor, vas a ver un micrófono que tiene un X, que tiene, parece que está rojo. Y
Ahora sí me escuchas.
Yes.
Sí. Ahora sí.
Yes.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video or form that you reviewed?
Buenas tardes, señor. ¿Usted tiene algunas preguntas sobre los derechos que ha repasado antes de entrar al tribunal?
No.
No.
All right. You have a ticket here from March 8th, 2022 for failing to stop at a red light.
Listo. Usted tiene aquí una boleta del 8 de marzo 2022 por fallar de parar en una luz roja.
That is a 4-point violation.
Una infracción de 4 puntos.
The prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle.
La fiscalía le quiere disminuir el cargo a un cargo de 2 puntos que se llama manejando un vehículo defectuoso.
Would you like to accept this plea offer?
¿Le gustaría ofrecer esta oferta, señor?
Está bien.
That's fine.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
¿Alguien le ha hecho algunas promesas o le han amenazado para que se declare culpable?
No.
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
¿Estás bajo la influencia de alguna droga o medicamento o alcohol que le puede impedir su habilidad de hacer una decisión hoy día?
Nada.
Do you need me to repeat that question?
Ya. Ahora sí te escucho, pero lo que me dijiste anterior no te escuché de nada.
I'm sorry, I can hear you now, but what you said before, I didn't hear anything.
All right, let me repeat.
Listo, déjame repetirlo.
Do you, excuse me, has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
¿Alguien le ha hecho algunas promesas o le han amenazado para que se declare culpable?
No.
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
¿Está bajo la influencia de alguna droga, alcohol o medicamento que le pudiera impedir su habilidad de hacer una decisión hoy día?
No.
No.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case?
Sí entiendes que en declarándose culpable estás rechazando todos los derechos que tiene disponible en este caso.
That includes the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal.
Y eso incluye el derecho de tener un abogado que le represente, el derecho de tener un juicio y el derecho de apelar esa decisión. ¿Sí entiendes?
Sí, sí entiendo.
Yes, I understand.
How do you plead to the 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on March 8th, 2022 at 6200 Holly Street in Commerce City, Colorado?
Entonces, ¿cómo se declara, señor, al cargo de manejar un vehículo defectuoso que carga 2 puntos que sucedió el 8 de marzo 2022 en la 7200 de la Holly Street? ¿Cómo se declara?
Me declaro culpable.
I declare myself guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made.
Listo, aceptaré su declaración culpable y veo que lo has hecho conscientemente, inteligentemente y voluntariamente.
Is there
Correcto.
anything that you would like me to know before I impose the fine?
¿Hay algo que le gustaría comentar a la jueza antes de que le impongan la sentencia y multa?
Want me to call this?
No.
Is that what you put it there?
Nothing, Your Honor.
Oh, I just mixed it. All right, sir, I have reviewed your ticket and your driving history. It looks like you do have one other charge from 2022.
The interpreter needs a repetition of the date, Your Honor.
I have reviewed your driving history and the ticket, and it looks like you have one other ticket from 2022.
Y he repasado su historial de conducir, señor, y parece que tienes otra boleta del 2022.
So this is going to put you at 4 points for the year.
Esto te va a poner en 4 puntos para el año.
So you'll need to be careful.
Disculpa, pero no te volví a escuchar nada, se volvió a quedar en mudo.
I'm so sorry, I didn't hear anything. Everything went silent again.
When did it go silent for you, sir?
¿Cuándo fue que se te fue en mudo, caballero?
Hasta.
Yeah, Your Honor, the interpreter
We
senses. that
cannot
there-
hear you, sir.
No le escuchamos, caballero. Your Honor, the interpreter would like to let the court know that in Zoom, it's indicating that Mr. Ramirez has a weak Wi-Fi connection.
Iris, apaga tu internet del teléfono.
Mr. Ramirez, I want you to turn off your video and just use your audio. That will usually help with the connection.
Señor Ramírez, necesito que apagues el vídeo para que nosotros podemos ayudar con la conexión. Muchas gracias. ¿Nos escucha?
Sí, ahora sí te escucho perfectamente.
Now I can hear you all perfectly. Thank you.
Okay, great. So what I said was that I do see you have one other ticket from 2022.
Lo que estoy diciendo es que veo que tienes otra boleta en tu historial de conducir del 2022,
That is a 2-point violation as well.
que también es una infracción de 2 puntos.
So right now you have 4 points counting against you for the year.
O sea, en pocas palabras, ya tienes 4 puntos negativos para este año en su licencia de conducir.
And I want you to be careful with your driving.
Y te digo eso porque yo quiero que estés al cuidado cuando...
No sé si a mí se me está yendo la señal, no sé, pero se queda en mudo.
Sorry, I don't know, that I'm losing signal and it stays in mute, Your Honor.
Well, sir, if you need to get off this device and call in on another one, I'll have to pass your case.
Bueno, señor, si necesitas salir de la reunión con este aparato y subirte con otro aparato, tendré que pasar tu caso.
No, pero ya. Iris, ¿ya apagaste tu internet, va?
Your Honor, he's
Yeah.
asking someone to turn off their computer at home.
Ya apagué todos los aparatos, ahora creo que ya todo el internet le quedó a la computadora, espero que no se le vaya.
Okay, Your Honor, all the other devices are off in my home, and mine is the only one on. I'm hoping that I won't have any issues now.
All right, sir. I am going to impose a $120 fine.
Continue.
There are a total of $65 of court costs. That makes it $185.
Listo, le voy a poner una multa de $120 más $65 del costo tribunal, que le ponen su multa en total de $185.
You are going to get an email from my clerk regarding how to make that payment.
Vas a recibir un correo electrónico de mi actuaria para ver cómo se puede hacer ese pago.
Do you have any questions?
Tengo una pregunta, señor.
I don't know.
Dijiste que la multa completa era de $185 de ahí y que dijo que era en el email. Ok, ahora ya te volví a escuchar.
Okay, I'm able to hear now. So I heard you say that it was $185 total and that I was going to receive information via email.
That's right.
Correcto.
Ok.
Thank you.
Una pregunta, ¿lo tendré que ir a pagar a la corte de Commerce City?
Do I have to go pay this fine at the Commerce City Court?
No, that is one option.
Una opción.
Your other options are to pay online or to mail your payment in.
La otra opción es de pagarlo en línea o de mandar el pago por correspondencia postal.
Ok, perfecto. Sí, pero sería money order, ¿correcto? No cheques.
Would that be through a money order? No checks, is that right?
We do accept checks, so whichever method you prefer.
Sí aceptamos cheques de cualquier método que usted prefiere, señor.
Ok, muchas gracias. Y última pregunta, ¿cuántos puntos me van a quedar en mi licencia en total?
So, thank you. One last question. How many points would be left on my license in total?
Right now, you have 4 points counting against you until February of next year.
Por el momento llevas 4 puntos negativos contra su licencia de conducir hasta el febrero del año entrante.
That means that you could safely accumulate 7 more points
Eso significa que seguramente puedes acumular 7 puntos más.
if you accumulate 8 points between now and February 2023. That would put you over your limit.
Si te dan 8 puntos de entre hoy a febrero, eso ya se pasa del límite.
Ok.
All right.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a good rest of your day.
Muchas gracias, señor. Pase buen día. Se puede ir de la reunión.
Ok.
Thank you. Dalton Sadberry, EM3215.
Can you hear me, Judge?
Yes, I can. Thank you. And sir, it looks like you're here today to provide proof of your community service.
Actually, I emailed. The reason I'm here today is I was told to register for court because I was denied an extension. My problem is that I'm not vaccinated and I'm disabled, and I don't have a current ID or a physical copy ID. I'm trying to work with Metro Current to get that, and as of like the 29th of last month, I fractured my ankle, and I'm waiting to see a doctor on the 12th. So it's like I can't currently get my community service done. So I'm trying to figure out how to go about that. I'm making my payments and everything else y'all have asked me to do. This is just my only current issue right now. I plan to get it done. It's just these are the obstacles that are in my way.
All right, one moment. All right, so you pled guilty to harassment. The court imposed 30 days of jail, but suspended 30 days on condition that you complete
Yes.
24 hours of community service. You pay $100 plus court costs, and that you have no new law violations.
Yes, ma'am.
Looks like you were to be paying on a payment plan. Have you been making your payments?
Yes, ma'am. On or before the date of each month.
All right,
I
I do see that you have a balance left of $84.
Yes, ma'am. And I actually might be able to pay the remaining balance off within the month also. So that would be
Right.
great.
And it looks like this order was entered in January.
I also have proof of my fractured ankle too, if you need to see that, Judge.
How much time are you asking for, sir?
I'm only asking because they told me I might need surgery, so I don't know how long that's going to put me out. I do know that my church has a food bank, and that's what I'm trying to do my community service through. But it kind of works like when you get a job, you got to have your social security card and ID for them to put you in the system legally and all that. So I'm trying to get that done. So I'm not asking more than 30 days like I asked in my email. I'm just trying to get all this done, and I don't think I can get it done before my birthday, which is on the 14th, which is conveniently the same day that y'all are asking me to have this done by.
All right, I'm going to give you 30 days for proof of 24 hours of community service.
Okay.
You're going to receive that new court date by email. If you have not completed your community service by that court date, you are going to need to appear. If it has been completed and verified, then you will not need to appear so long as you've made your monthly payment. If you
Okay.
have, do you still have the community service sheet that you need to get filled out?
Yes, ma'am. Y'all emailed me everything I needed, and I have the updated copy of the one that's up to the 14th of this month. I'm sure y'all will send me another one, and I'll have to print that one off, correct?
Yes, and you will need to make sure that you get good contact information for whoever that you work for.
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to do that through the through my church, and if that doesn't work, then I plan to do it through Goodwill, but their system is the same.
All right. Thank you, sir, and good luck. You are now free to exit the call.
All right. Thank you. Have a good, blessed day, Judge.
Thanks, you too. Ramiro Carrasco, EM 6184. Ramiro, are you here?
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon. And
Good
do you
afternoon.
have your mom with you?
Yeah.
All right. Good afternoon, ma'am. ¿Necesita intérprete?
Sí, buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes, señora.
All right, Ramiro, did you review or watch the rights advisement video?
¿Usted repasaste o viste el vídeo de aviso de derechos?
Yes.
Sí.
Do you have any questions about your rights?
¿Algunas preguntas sobre tus derechos?
No.
No.
And ma'am, what is your name?
Señora, ¿cuál es su nombre, por favor?
Marta Carrasco.
Martha Carrasco.
Mrs. Carrasco, did you have any questions about your son's rights?
Señora Carrasco, ¿usted tiene algunas preguntas sobre los derechos de sus hijos, de su hijo?
No.
No.
Ramiro, you have a ticket here for no proof of insurance, a 4-point violation.
Veo que tienes aquí una boleta de no llevar comprobante de seguro de automóvil, que es una infracción de 4 puntos.
And careless driving, a 4-point violation.
Y de manejar sin cuidado, que también es una infracción de 4 puntos.
These are from January 15th, 2022.
Y estos dos se sucedieron el 15 de enero 2022.
It looks like you were able to provide your insurance to the prosecutor, so he is dismissing that charge.
Parece que sí le pudiste proporcionar comprobante de seguro de automóvil al fiscal, entonces él va a desestimar ese cargo.
On the careless driving charge, the prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on condition that you complete the Alive at 25 driving class.
El fiscal quiere le quiere disminuir los cargos a un cargo de 2 puntos, que es de manejar un vehículo defectuoso, y con una condición, con tal que usted toma la clase llamado Alive at 25.
Is that how you understand the offer?
Esta es la manera que estás entendiendo la oferta.
Yes.
Sí.
And would you like to accept that offer?
¿Le gustaría aceptar esa oferta?
Yes.
Sí.
Mrs. Carrasco, is that what you believe your son should do?
Señora Carrasco, ¿piensas que eso es lo que debería de ser su hijo? ¿Aceptar esta oferta?
Sí.
Yes.
Mr. Carrasco, has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
Señor Carrasco, ¿alguien le ha hecho alguna promesa o le había amenazado para que se declare culpable?
No.
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
¿Está bajo la influencia de alguna droga, alcohol o medicamento que le pudiera impedir de hacer una buena decisión?
No, ma'am.
No, señora.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means you're giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
Si entiendes que en declarándose culpable estás rechazando todos los derechos que están disponibles a ti, incluyendo teniendo un abogado, el derecho de tener un juicio y el derecho de apelar esa decisión. ¿Sí entiendes?
Yes.
Sí.
How do you plead to the 2-point charge of driving with a defective vehicle on January 15th, 2022 in the 7200 block of 67th Place in Commerce City, Colorado?
¿Y cómo se declara entonces al cargo de manejar un vehículo defectuoso, un cargo que carga 2 puntos, que sucedió el 15 de enero 2022 en el bloque de la 7200 de la 67 Place? ¿Culpable o no culpable?
I plead guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made.
Gracias, aceptaré su declaración culpable y lo acepto viendo que lo has hecho en una manera consciente, voluntariamente y inteligentemente.
Is there anything that you would like me to know before I impose the sentence?
¿Hay algo que le gustaría comentarme antes que le imponga la sentencia?
No, ma'am.
No, señora.
All right, so you took the car without your parents knowing?
O sea, listo, entonces tú te llevaste el carro sin que se diera cuenta tus padres.
Yes, ma'am.
Sí, señora.
Do you have a driver's license?
¿Tienes una licencia de conducir?
I don't.
No tengo.
Do you have a permit?
¿Llevas un permiso?
I also don't.
Tampoco.
Then what are you doing driving a vehicle?
¿Y qué andas haciendo manejando un vehículo?
I mean, I was trying to get my permit a few times this past year, but it's one if it's not one thing, it's another. But I mean, at the end of the day, I didn't think it well, and I just took the car without my parents knowing.
Bueno, lo que pasa es que yo he intentado algunas veces de tratar de sacar mi permiso este año y el año pasado, pero si no fue por una cosa, es otra cosa que no lo podía sacar. Y la verdad es que yo me saqué el carro sin haberlo pensado bien.
I would agree that you did not think that through.
Estoy en acuerdo que no lo pensaste bien.
The officer indicates that you were actually racing another vehicle.
El oficial, la policía dice que andabas de carrera con otro vehículo.
So you're putting yourself and other people on the road in danger.
Entonces en eso estás poniendo en riesgo de peligro a ti y a otras personas en las carreteras.
What I'm going to do is impose a fine, but suspend part of the fine on condition that you complete the Alive at 25 driving class.
Lo que voy a hacer es que te voy a dar una multa y voy a suspender una porción de la multa bajo la condición que tomas la clase Alive at 25.
That is a $200 fine, $280 fine, and I'm suspending 200.
La multa es de $280 y voy a suspender $200 de esa multa.
So your fine is $80 and there are $55 of court costs.
Entonces la multa sería $80 más costos del tribunal de $55.
Sorry, $53 of court costs.
Disculpa, $53 de costos del tribunal.
That's a total of 133.
Ese es un total de 133.
You will receive an email from my clerk that has the information about the Alive at 25 driving class, as well as how to make that payment.
Vas a recibir un correo electrónico de mi actuaria con información de la clase Alive at 25 y también en cómo pueden dar ese pago.
You will have a due date for both of those things.
Y tendrás un tiempo de límite o una fecha de límite para ambas cosas.
It is your responsibility to turn in proof of completion of the Alive at 25 driving class.
Es su responsabilidad de entregar comprobante que has cumplido con la clase de Alive at 25.
As long as you have that certificate of completion turned in and your fine paid by the court date that you are given, you will not need to appear.
Con tal que usted pague esa multa, cumples con la clase antes de la fecha del tribunal que le estamos dando. Si todo se hace, no es necesario de comparecer al tribunal.
If you do need more time, you will need to appear.
Sin embargo, si necesitas más tiempo, vas a tener que comparecer en esa fecha.
Do either of you have any questions?
¿Alguno de ustedes dos tienen algunas preguntas?
No.
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 Thank you. You are now excused from the call.
Muchas gracias, nos estamos despidiendo. Pasen buen día.
Igualmente, gracias.
you.
Likewise, thank you.
All right, Leslie Robles Garcia, EM 17029. Good afternoon, ma'am. Are you okay? Am I going too fast or am I okay? Okay. No, I heard you and I was like, oh boy, let me check in. All right, Ms. Garcia Robles, did you have any questions about the rights advisement video that you watched?
No.
One moment, I'm trying to find your case. It looks like maybe you added on to the docket. Hang on. Buenas tardes, Miguel. How many zeros before the EM, after the EM? Is it 3?
It's either 3 or 4.
There it is, it's 3. All right, ma'am, it looks like you have a ticket for speeding, a 4-point violation, and no proof of insurance, a 4-point violation. And these are from yesterday, April 3rd. So you are very early to court. I bet I can guess why.
I didn't hear that part.
I said you are very early to court, and I assume I can guess why.
Yes.
All right. The prosecutor has indicated that you did provide proof of insurance. So that charge is getting dismissed.
That's true.
That leaves you with the speeding violation. On that charge, he is willing to reduce it to a 1-point charge of speeding. Would you like to accept that plea offer?
I accept that.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case?
Yes.
That would include the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal.
Yes, I understand that.
How do you plead to the 1-point charge of speeding on April 3rd, 2022 in the 9300 block of Highway 2 in Commerce City, Colorado?
I feel guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea. Find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you would like me to know before I impose the fine? All right. So it looks like the officer clocked you going 63 and a 45. I do want you to be careful because that was close to a 6-point violation. I do see that you've never had a ticket before. I do see that you've never had a ticket before. I am going to impose an $80 fine. With court costs and surcharges, it comes to a total of $133. Are you able to pay that today?
Yes.
All right, I'll have you stop at the window. They'll take your payment there. Thank you. Have a good day. Good luck. Eric Rivera Garnica, EM 14525 on Zoom.
Present.
Good afternoon, sir. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed or video that you watched?
No.
All right, sir, you have a ticket here for careless driving and no proof of insurance. One moment while I pull that up. There it is. All right, and this is alleged to have occurred on March 10th, 2022 at 7260 East 61st Place. The prosecutor has indicated that you were able to provide proof of the insurance, so that charge is getting dismissed. On the careless charge, he is offering to reduce that to a 1-point charge of driving with a defective headlight. Would you like to accept that plea offer?
Yes.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
Yes.
How do you plead to the 1-point charge of driving with a defective headlight on March 10th, 2022, 7260 East 61st Place, Commerce City, Colorado?
I plead guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you'd like me to know about your case before I impose the fine?
No.
All right, so I'm just looking at the accident report. Looks like you have a clear driving history. So it looks like the traffic in front of you stopped. You veer to the right to try to avoid them, jump the curb, hit the fence.
Yeah, I had lost traction and it was like at an angle sliding on the road and it like hopped over the curb and then I went off the road and a car, 2 vehicles ahead of me had also went off the road and we kind of bumped into each other and he sent me flying into that fence.
Was there bad weather or what was the cause of all this?
Yeah, it had snowed the last night, so it was really icy in the morning.
All right.
And then we were all going like 10 under the speed limit. I tried keeping at least at a minimum like 2.5 car lengths in between. But yeah, my car just wasn't slowing down whatsoever.
Gotcha. All right, since it was a single car accident, I'm going to impose an $80 fine. There are $29 in court costs, fuel charge, and a 30% surcharge, makes it a total of $133. Are you able to pay that today, Mr. Rivera?
Yes.
All right, so you're gonna get an email from my clerk with your payment options that can either be done online, in person, or through the mail. Do you have any questions?
No.
All right, thank you and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you, bye-bye. Joel Sanchez Aguilar, EM 12098. Good afternoon. Sir, did you have any questions about the rights advisement video or form that you reviewed?
No.
You have a ticket here from March 5th for a charge of unsafe lane change, which is a 3-point violation. The prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 1-point charge of driving with a defective headlight. Would you like to accept that plea offer?
Yes, I accept that.
Has anybody made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty? Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
No, no.
Do you understand that pleading guilty means you are giving up the rights that you have in the case?
Yes.
That includes the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal.
Yes.
How do you plead to the 1-point charge of driving with a defective headlight on March 5th, 2022 in the 5600 block of East 88th Avenue in Commerce City, Colorado?
Guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Is there anything that you want me to know about your accident before I impose the fine?
No.
All right, it looks like there were no injuries. And I see that you've not had a prior ticket here in Colorado. I am going to impose the standard amount of the fine, which is $120. There are $20 of court costs, a $9 fuel charge, and a 30% surcharge. Comes to a total of $185. Are you able to pay that today, Mr. Sanchez? All right, I'll have you work out a payment arrangement with my clerk at the window. Do you have any questions?
Can I pay with a card?
Yes, you may.
Can I come back before 5 o'clock?
I believe so, yes.
Because I left my billfold at home.
No problem. But I want you to stop at the window first.
All right.
Thank you. Have a good day. Nicholas Bender, EM 2714.
Hello, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bender. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement video or form that you reviewed?
No, Your Honor.
All right, one moment while I open your case. All right, sir, it looks like you have a ticket here from March 12th, 2022, a charge of throwing missiles at vehicles. It looks like yourself and the prosecutor have come to an agreement to continue your case, to give you time to complete certain conditions in exchange for a dismissal of your case. Is that what you understand?
Correct. Can you just explain dismissal for me, just because I don't really know the term?
I will. I'll go through all of that. So
right, great.
First off, the agreement is that you complete 16 hours of community service. You have no further violations during the time that your case is open, that you provide follow-up reports or letters from your therapist, and we'll continue your case for about 30 to 45 days to do those things. As long as you do those things, the prosecutor will move to dismiss your case. Once your case is dismissed, you then have the option of filing a petition to seal. There is a $65 sealing fee. If the sealing is ordered, then you can legally say that the record does not exist. If you fail to comply with any one or more of the conditions that the prosecutor has required, then the prosecutor can still go forward with this case against you. You would still have all the same rights and options that you have today. Do you have any questions about that?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, did you catch the amendment?
Oh. I didn't, thank you. So the city attorney is moving to amend the charge to 12-6,000. Let me open that up really quick. That charge is labeled missiles and laser beams. And what it says is it shall be unlawful for any person. Oop, I just lost it. Where'd it go? It shall be unlawful for any person to intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly throw, shoot, or project any missile, including by way of illustration, but not limitation, a snowball, ball, bottle, stone, arrow, pellet, dart, ball bearing at or against, or in any manner which could injure a person, structure, building, real or personal property, or fixture or vehicle of another. Do you understand the charge?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. It's also unlawful to focus, point, shine, or shine a laser beam directly or indirectly on another person or animal in such a manner as to harass, annoy, or injure said person or animal. All right. Do you have any objection to the amendment?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I will grant that motion. Your community service, we're going to send you a form by email about the community service. That must be done at any nonprofit organization like church, school, ARC, Goodwill, animal shelter, food bank, something like that. You will need to make sure that you get good contact information for whoever that you work for, because we do call and verify that it's been done. All right, and then you'll need to get a letter, a follow-up report from the therapist. There's no details of what that is supposed to have. So whatever you and the prosecutor talked with, it's your agreement. So you need to make sure that you comply with whatever it was that he wanted to get information on, okay? And then the final requirement is no further violations. All right, sir. So we're going to continue your case for 30 to 45 days for you to complete that. You're going to get that information by email. As long as you are compliant, your case will be dismissed and then eligible for sealing. If you are not compliant, but are working towards your agreement, then the prosecutor may agree to a continuance, but only if you appear. So please do make sure you appear either way at your next court date. Do you have any questions?
Just a quick one for the sealing portion. Is that like if they do a background check or something that way won't pop up or be on my permanent record? I don't.
Right. Law enforcement and the courts would still have access to it, but law enforcement and the courts could not release it to anybody else. Okay. So if somebody called Commerce City Police Department and said, hey, I want to get this report, they would have to say no such record exists.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, that should be it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your day.
You too.
Myrna Venzer, EM3706.
Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Ms. Venzer. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you reviewed?
I do not.
All right, and one moment while I pull open your ticket. I think you were an add-on, so let me open it a different way. Hang on.
Yes, I was originally scheduled for tomorrow.
No problem. Not finding your case there either.
I also have a case number if that's helpful to you.
That's what I'm going to try next. I had done the name because that usually comes up faster, but let me try the citation number. There it is. Oh, it's Hernandez Benzor. Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right. So it looks like you have a ticket here from March 7th for speeding. That is a 6-point violation. The prosecutor is offering to reduce your ticket to a 3-point charge of improper lane usage. Would you like to accept this plea offer?
I would, Your Honor.
Has anyone made you any promises or threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No,
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication that would impair your ability to make a good decision?
no,
Do you understand that pleading guilty means that you are giving up all of the rights that you have in the case, including the right to have an attorney, the right to have a trial, and the right to appeal?
yes,
How do you plead to the 3-point charge of improper lane usage on March 7th, 2021 in the area of 8300 Tower Road in Commerce City, Colorado?
guilty.
Thank you. I accept your guilty plea and I find that it's knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently made. Ms. Hernandez, is there anything that you wanted me to know about your case before I impose the fine?
No, ma'am.
All right, so it looks like you have not had any tickets since 2014. So point-wise, you're doing just fine. You did clock you going pretty quick though, so I definitely want you to watch that speed.
I have been, and it was definitely a lesson learned.
All right, says you were running late to get home for your son's therapy.
That's right.
All right, I am going to impose a fine of $120. That's a little less than the standard, which would be $160. There are $20 of court costs, a $9 surcharge, and 30% $9 fuel charge and 30% surcharge. Comes to a total of $185. Are you able to pay that today, Ms. Hernandez?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're going to get an email from my clerk regarding your options for payment. That can either be done in person, online, or through the mail. Do you have any questions?
Nope.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thanks, you as well.
Thanks, bye-bye. Jamie McCarrick, CM 303428.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Did you have any questions about the rights advisement that you, video that you watched or form that you reviewed?
No, ma'am.
All right, let me open your ticket.
Okay.
All right, looks like you're an add-on. Did you miss a court date, Ms. McCarrick?
No, I had a warrant I wasn't aware of. I was pulled over in Bloomfield County, and the officer let me know that I had a warrant for an assault charge, which was very surprising to me. There's girl that's living in my home.
Well, hang on.
Oh.
I don't want you to tell me anything about the case yet because you
Yeah,
are
because
presumed innocent.
okay, yep. I got to resume silent until trial. I am
All
taking
right, so I do see your ticket here. This is alleged to have occurred on February 15th, 2022 at 6670 Doris Court. And
Yep.
the charge is assault. It looks like you spoke to the prosecutor and you would like to apply for the services of the public defender. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so what we can do, Ms. McCarrick, is you and I can review this application together today if you'd like, or I can continue your case to give you the opportunity to come to court to fill it out. That way usually takes some more appearances. So if you're comfortable going over the application, we can do that today. You, me, and the clerk are the only ones in the courtroom right now.
Absolutely. That's
All
fine.
right. Are you single or married?
I am single.
And what is your address?
6670 Doris Court, Commerce City, Colorado, 80022.
Thank you. One moment. What's your phone number?
719-631-0770. That is a text now number. I've been using it for a while.
Okay. And do you have any dependents living with you? That means children.
Yes, I do. I have a 17-year-old.
And he lives with you?
Yes, he does.
Does anybody else contribute to the household support?
My son Alex works and he does pay bills. That was the agreement for him moving back home.
That's the
So,
17-year-old?
he is, he lives here. He's 23. He's my son.
I see.
Alex, he's like, yeah.
And are you working?
At the moment, no, I am not. I am waiting on hip surgery, and my unemployment has, it's been in, somebody claimed my unemployment fraudulently, and it's been 2 years. I'm actually seeing results right now, and right now they're pending. So it's
Okay.
because I pulled my 401k or whatever, but hopefully that happens soon because yeah, I've had no money. I got food stamps pretty much. That's it.
All right. Do you have a car?
No, I do not.
How long have you been unemployed?
I have been unemployed for let's say about 2 years.
Okay, thank you. Do you have a checking account or savings account with a balance?
No, I do not. Not at this time, Your Honor.
Do you have any source of income such as unemployment, Social Security?
No, I actually just filed for, well, I'm waiting for a phone call to file because I do not have transportation. So when I get the phone call, I'll file and I'll be able to get A and D. I just found out about that, so.
All right. And how much is your rent?
I don't pay rent. This is my house. I own my home.
Okay. And you have no balance in savings, checkings. What's the value of your home?
The value of my home is probably estimated at about, last time it was about 250. I'm thinking about 3 maybe.
All right.
Here's that.
Your son's name is Alex McCarrick?
Alexander Croucher.
Croucher. All right, thank you. And he contributes?
He pays the bills and everything. It's public service and the water bill.
Do you have access to his money?
No, I do not.
Okay.
He doesn't help me whatsoever. He's part of the reason I've got this charge today.
All right, well, I just have to ask that because if you have access to somebody else's money, that has to be added into your income. So I just had to ask that.
Absolutely not, ma'am.
All right. So based upon our review of this application together, I am going to make a finding that you are eligible for the services of the public defender.
Thank you.
And we are going to appoint a public defender.
Okay.
We're going to get your information to the public defender. We're going to continue your case to a pretrial conference date. You will receive notice of that date by email, and you'll get some information about your attorney. Let me take a look. Is this, you told me that you had a warrant, is that right? All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and quash the warrant.
Thank you.
Your warrant fees will be addressed at a future court date.
And is there I had a question. Is there any way I could get a protection order against her, or I'll get an eviction? I'm scared. I'm in my room 24/7. I'm just, she
So
tears up my house and
you may be able to get a protection order, but we don't do that here in the municipal court. You would need to go to the Adams County District Court. I believe they do their protection orders in the afternoons, but you can check their website. It would be a civil protection order. They may have a self-help center that you can utilize to get information about the evictions as well as the protection orders. So I want you to get on the Adams County website, Adams County District Court.
okay, thank you.
You bet.
I will do that. Thank you so much, Your Honor. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am, and I go there tomorrow anyway. I have court, so.
All right, well, stop in at their office and ask some questions.
Okay, thank you so much, and you enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you, you as well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, not seeing anybody else in the courtroom, no one on the Zoom. Court will be in recess.